Good evening and welcome to Headingley, Leeds for this rearranged fixture from the 31st of August. Saints first out on the pitch, 13 for this evening. After a couple of knocks against Dewsbury in the Regal Trophy, we have David Lyon at full-back, Riley, Vevers, Hunt and Sullivan make the three-quarter line, Martin and O'Donnell are at half-back, with Neil, Dwyer and Dannett in the front row, Joint, Mann and Cooper, the back three. Steve Prescott getting another chance on the bench, a well-deserved chance in my opinion, and Ian Pickervance. The Leeds side, Tate at full-back, Fallon, Iro, Innes and Irving are the three-quarters, Holroyd and Stevens, a young partnership there at half-back, with Harmon, Lowes and Rose in the front row, Mercer, Ayres and Vasilakopoulos in the back three, with John Scales and Ian Scott on the bench. Russell Smith, the match day referee for this evening. The officials there, centre field, there's Russell Smith, one of the youngest whistlers around. Looks like Kevin Iro, captain for Leeds, and Shane Cooper for the Saints. So Kevin Iro, the Leeds captain, and Leeds have got to get back into winning ways. This multi-million pound club they've assembled loads of talent, but unfortunately it's not gelling together, and they've lost about the last 6 on the trot. They have a tremendous following support, and obviously home support, as you can hear below us, but yes, as you can hear below us, but unfortunately they're not producing the goods on the field. Leeds in possession. Saints move up quickly, just as they've got to do. But Gary Mercer, I think that is, running strongly there. It is, and good running. Neil Harmon coming through. Solid tackling by the Saints. James Lowe's taking up the acting half-back position. Andy Gregory has moved from Leeds this week, gone to Salford. And Leeds have just got to get on with the job, and I wouldn't be surprised if some others don't follow him. One maybe the man in charge, Doug Lawton. But the ball directed down into the Saints 20-metre area. Mike Riley takes it, Saints' first touch of the ball. Bernard Dwyer without the skull cap this evening, but his counterpart James Lowe's has his headgear on. George Mann, been outstanding for the Saints, the Regal man of the match in the Dewsbury tie. But John Neal coming through there at pace. But Russell Smith, I think he's adjudging it was a forward pass. Well, no cries from below us, from the Partisan Leeds faithful. So your guess is as good as mine, but the scrum is to be formed. Gareth Stevens will feed it. First scrum going Leeds' way, now with Graham Holroyd, only a youngster, but coming through here in the senior ranks. Mercer lofted the ball out, Saints tackling, have to be firm, and there's the gang tackling, they come in, 2, 3 and 4 Saints men. And certainly, even though Leeds are not having the best of fortunes, once again in 2 successive matches, the Saints mustn't underestimate the opposition, as it could prove the downfall. Well, that's a forward pass, isn't it? But Phil Vevers can't take it, he gets it now, but the referee's pointing. The forward pass given on the 6th tackle, I think he's given the turnover. No, it is a scrum, with the Saints feed, the first offence indicated by referee Smith. Gus O'Donnell feeds it, Saints come up with scrum possession, David Lyon linking up well. There was a little bit of doubt about Lyon for this evening's match, but with a back injury, but it's Paul Loughlin that's actually out. Quite a few Saints players out injured. Tira Patty, quite long term now. Paul Loughlin, John Harrison and Kevin Ward, both not having the best of fortunes. Unfortunately, Kevin Ward, recurrence of his nasty leg injury, and he's in for surgery again. Also out is Sonny Nicol and John Griffiths, who got hurt. George Mann running out wide onto Alan Hunt. Gets the ball away to Mike Riley. Mike Riley breaks through the first line of defence, penetrates the Leeds 20-metre area. Leeds are urged to get back on side. It's Saints on the attack, moving it cross field now. Gus O'Donnell, long cut out ball. David Lyon now pops it up. Must have been on the 6th tackle, but Lyon plays it on, puts it back. Saints still move it. It's out with Chris Joint, he chips it through. It's such a Leeds player and comeback. Will the tackle count be waved clean? No, but the knock-on's given there. Andy Dannett couldn't take it cleanly. I think it must have been the 6th tackle now and the turnover. Will it be indicated? No, it's a scrum down again. I thought with the way the Saints were throwing the ball about, it was on the 6th tackle. But it was a knock-on by Andy Dannett, and the referee orders the scrum. And Leeds come up with possession yet again. Tate linking up from the full-back position. Leeds build up the attack again. Kevin Iro. Strong run in there. Gary Rose taking it just into the Saints half. Stevens brings in Harmon on the opposite diagonal. Excellent forward, Harmon. Certainly a forward that was on the transfer list earlier on in the season. Played with Warrington. And Gary Mercer flicks it up onto James Lowes, looking for support. Last tackle of the sequence. Leeds make good yardage. Graham Holroyd puts it up. It's a tester for David Lyon. He takes it well. And he's taken right back over the dead ball line. Taken in the field of play, and then behind his own line is the indication by Russell Smith, and Saints forced to drop out from between the sticks. Excellent pressure by Leeds, and a testing kick there from Holroyd on the last tackle. Put David Lyon under pressure, but he never took his eye off the ball, took it cleanly, but was forced back by some good following up. And Beavers is going to drop out from between the sticks, and it'll give Leeds another set of 6. Alan Tate takes it on the full. He drives straight in. Bernard Dwyer and George Mann meet him. Saints regroup. They come up as a body, but good running there by Gary Rose. Moves it out wide. Well, a knock on at the play of the ball, I feel. Yes, a mistake there by Leeds, just as they was about to build up a little movement, as we can say. But Gary Rose, I think, was the man that knocked it forward. Gus O'Donnell will feed the scrum. Quite sharp, Gus O'Donnell, in whichever position he plays, always impresses. But obviously there's been a bit of a seesaw battle between Gus O'Donnell and John Griffiths for the scrum half berth. Griffiths must be out injured. George Mann brings it blindside. Bernard Dwyer steps up quickly. Shane Cooper onto John Neal. Well, losing his footing, John Neal. The pitch doesn't look in bad condition, but a bitter cold evening, and it's bound to be better than at Mount Pleasant Batley, where we played last Friday. Even though it didn't look too bad from our commentary position, it certainly cut up a bit and was very slippy in the end. Alan Tate gets the ball directly from the Saints kick through. Gareth Stevens, well, that certainly looked to him forward, even though he twisted round onto Simon Irving. Now it's Leeds again. Gary Mercer trying to make a headway, but Chris Joint has him wrapped up. Man and ball, excellent tackling by Chris Joint. Richie Ayres, another big money signing from cash-strapped Widnes. Stevens along the line. Kevin Iro, tackling has got to be at a premium, but the ball's got away to Alan Tate. Good tackling there, Phil Vevers. Last one of the sequence. Iro puts it back. Is it Holroyd that peppers it down? Well, Mike Riley lets it run. Looked as though it was going to sit up nice for him, but unfortunately it didn't. But it's going to be Saints head and ball with the scrum in the Saints 20-metre area. 10 metres in, and it's 10 metres from the Saints line. No score at present. 8 minutes gone on the clock. Gus O'Donnell feeds, comes round the back of the scrum, tries to beat the defence. But Vasilakopoulos comes in there along with Holroyd. Now it's Chris Joint. Dwyer moves it left. Cooper, long ball out there. Anthony Sullivan. Scored 5 tries in his last 2 appearances. It's all a matter of confidence and getting, well taken there by Phil Vevers. An awkward pass, a long cut-out ball, but well taken. Blindside ploy again. Andy Dannett straightens it up, drives in. Rose, one of the tacklers, along with Holroyd. Tommy Martin peppers it up deep. Jim Fallon comes back to cover up. Has to take it in his in-goal area. Did well, Fallon. Sidestep past one, but didn't get past the clutches there of Alan Hunt. Hunt back in after being out last Friday with a slight groin strain. 6 tries to his credit this season, Alan Hunt. Well, George Mann's going to be spoken to as Gary Rose came through. He didn't actually make contact, perhaps just as well. Otherwise, consequences may have been more severe. But Russell Smith having a word with George Mann. Russell Smith interpreting the offence as intent. And I think that's the first penalty of the game going Leeds' way after 10 minutes of play. No score. Well, just finding touch. David Lyon couldn't stretch for it. Excuse me again if I sound a bit croaky. Still suffering from a hint of flu. And these dark, dismal nights don't help either, do they? But Neil Harmon driving it hard. Tackling's got to be at a premium. Saints have got to gang tackle. Gareth Stevens moving it over to the right, drawing the man in. Oh, good cover defence there. Super tackling by Tommy Martin. But it's James Lowes. 5 metres from the Saints line and easing back. Holroyd. Oh, intercepted there by Vasilakopoulos. I don't think the ball was actually meant for him, but he got it out of the air, grabbed it out of the air, and an excellent start for Leeds. So Vasilakopoulos gets the try. 10 minutes gone on the watch. Puts Leeds into the lead by 4 points to 0. With a conversion to come, Simon Irving is the usual goal kicker. But good pressure by Leeds. They took it up well. Saints with the team talk behind the line. But Saints' attitude has got to be right this evening. Leeds not doing well as of late. They went down in the Regal Trophy last Saturday, beg your pardon, a televised match. Salford won by 21 points to 12. Saints won the night before at Batley against Dewsbury, 20 points to 6. And Irving now right on the 20-metre line, and as we can say, roughly 8 metres in. 7 or 8 metres in, looking to tag the extra 2 points on. Just to the left of the sticks. So 4-point lead for Leeds. Good play, Leeds moved up. As I said, Vasilakopoulos, it looked as though the ball wasn't meant for him, but he grabbed it, the cover was broken, and in he went for the 4-pointer. Tommy Martin, deep kick, looking for a mistake by Leeds. Well, that was a mistake and a knock-on in the in-goal area. So good pressure by the Saints, good long kick, deflected off a Leeds player, and I think it was Irving that come to pick it up. He fumbled it, knocked on behind the try line, and they all count wherever you are on the field. If they knock forward, it's a knock-on. Saints will regather. Phil Vevers drives it up, looking for that chink in the Leeds arm. Oh, good drive by Vevers. Bounces off one tackler, but James Lowe's come back with the second line of defence along with Gary Rose. Now it's Andy Dannett. They've got a very good vocabulary over here in Yorkshire. All you get off from below here is Yorkshire and Leeds. I mean, it's so varied, it's unbelievable, isn't it? But it's Saints on the attack. Gus O'Donnell along the line, Martin, the cut-out ball, Vevers. Riley takes it. Is it knocked forward? Well, Vevers has taken a knock there. He's down on the ground. I didn't see anything untoward in the back play. But the ball had gone to Mike Riley. He couldn't take it cleanly. Saints physio Jeanette Smith on to treat Phil Vevers, but he looks very groggy there. Shane Cooper, the captain, just geeing his side up, trying to get his side moving, telling them, or trying to tell them what he wants. Vevers being treated. He's up and about now, tough as teak, Phil Vevers, in his 10th season here at St Helens. Leeds have scrum possession. Saints have got to get up there and keep them in their own 20-metre area. They are just trailing by 4 points to 0. And both Saints substitutes warming up. On the far side, Ian Pickavance and Steve Prescott. And young Prescott there, the son of ex-Saint Eric Prescott. Well, Leeds, they lose the ball. Saints snap it up quickly. Cooper, he breaks through, turns it back to George Mann. He can't control it, but it went back. There's no danger about that. The ball went back. The severity of the Saints tackling on the Leeds player. Shoot the ball from his hands. George Mann, I think it was, that accepted it. Came through anyway. Saints are now putting pressure, or trying to put pressure on Leeds. Chris Joint strains it up, drives through. Block-busting run from this Great Britain second rower. Now with Andy Dannett. Can he stretch? Yes, the try's there. Dannett stretches, levels the scores. 15 minutes on the watch. And Dannett goes over for his first try in the Saints colours. Good work by the Saints, and that's capitalising from defence into attack. The severity of the tackling there by the Saints. Shoot the ball from the Leeds man's hands. Saints capitalised on it quick, moved it over to the right. The Leeds defence came in, then it was turned back left. A good run by Joint, broke through about 2 or 3 tackles. Andy Dannett backing up, and that's the idea there, the man coming through at pace. And the Leeds defence couldn't hold him. He stretched out and touched down just to the right of the sticks. Tommy Martin shouldn't have any problem adding the extras on. He pops it over there. Puts Saints in the lead. 6 points to 4. Tommy Martin's 11th goal of the season. Tommy Martin's 11th goal of the season, as I said there, and puts Saints in the lead. 16 minutes gone on the clock. 6 points to 4. Vevers fully recovered after that knock up in the Leeds 20-metre area just a couple of minutes ago. Mike Riley comes in field, as these both of these wingers do, looking for that slight chink in the armour. Tireless running by the forwards. Well, the ball came back. Saints move it quickly. Good ball handling there. Chris Joint moves it to the left. Alan Hunt came through. The ball couldn't be released. George Mann straightens it up. Saints look full of running this evening. Blindside ploy. Bernard Dwyer. Overlap on the left as Joint straightens it up again. Good tackling by Leeds. Bring him down. Kevin Iro, it was that covered it that time. Bernard Dwyer, well, that looks a knock-on. That certainly was a knock-on. Yes, that's only right. Well, the man throwing the ball away, and Jim Fallon it was. He didn't like that decision, but that was the correct decision. The ball was chipped through by Bernard Dwyer on the 6th tackle. Fallon couldn't take it. Saints now are going to have scrum possession. They do. Another set of 6, obviously to try and put pressure on this Leeds outfit. Both Leeds substitutes now warming up on the far side. David Lyon inside to Sullivan, but that was a cruncher. Hell of a crunching tackle there by Gary Mercer on Tony Sullivan. And the sheer severity of that tackle Well, the touch judge is in on the far side, but didn't look anything untoward. I wouldn't have thought so. But the severity shook the ball out. It went into touch. And it's a scrum down. It's going to be Leeds feed. And Gareth Stevens. Leeds possession. 18 minutes gone. Saints in the lead 6 points to 4 and 8 scrums, 4 each way, I make it. Quite a lot of scrums in the early minutes. Along the line, oh, good shoulder charge by Cooper. Forced Harmon back a full 5 metres. Hell of a shoulder charge, that. Now Leeds bring it blindside again. Oh, the game just warming up. All right, closed down. Lyon has to turn. Takes it now. Moves over to the Tony Sullivan wing and Kevin Iro comes in. David Lyon gets it away to Tony Sullivan. But solid tackling again. Jim Fallon moves in. Solid tackling by Leeds. Moved up well there. Now Alan Hunt. Limited touches. Oh, Hunt drives off the first defensive attack. And now with John Neal. Bernard Dwyer goes through his legs, no problem, he goes back, gathers it. Brings it over to our commentary position here. Now it's with George Mann, Richard Erzin and Gary Rose. It's the last tackle of this set of 6. Tommy Martin with the positional kick in this evening. He puts it straight upfield. Alan Tate looks as though he'll have to play it. He does. Just takes it in his own in-goal area. Comes crossfield. Good tackling there by Beavers. Holds him on the... Well, now Tate there, a prime example of walking off the mark, and the referee has the cheek to penalise the Saints for moving up offside. And Tate there was clearly tackled. He cabbaged a yard, moved it forward, walked off the mark clearly, but yet it's Leeds that are awarded the penalty. A fine exponent of cabbaging, Alan Tate. We was only on about this coming over in the car, but unless the referee gets a grip of him. Fallon breaks through, quickly wrapped up by Sullivan. Now it's Harmon coming in again. Good yardage by Leeds. James Lowes attacked in half-back. Stevens trying to create the gap. George Mann wraps him up. Good tackling there. Well, Andy Dannett alleged going in with the knees. A penalty to Leeds. When players come in, these little halfbacks, they're little characters. They're moving up and down and very wiry. They come in and referee Smith right on the job, adjudged Dannett to have gone in with the knees. He penalised the Saints, and now it's a chance for Irving to try and level the scores up. It's about 40 metres out. And should we say about 20-25 metres in from this touchline. A good chance for Irving. 22 minutes gone on the watch. That doesn't look a bad kick from here. Yes. An Irving penalty for an alleged going in with the knees by Andy Dannett. Irving converts it into points. 6 apiece. 22 minutes on the watch. Tommy Martin, he'll restart. Kicks it deep again. Mercer will bring it away. Saints move up in a line. Dannett and Neal combine. Neal there, strikes at the ball. Can't get it this time. The tackle count's going to be waved clean. Unlucky there, John Neal. Simon Irving breaks out to the first line defence and the second, but he doesn't get past Chris Joint and Bernard Dwyer. Strong running again as Harmon, well, tries to unload it, the ball's loose. Do Leeds have it? Well, it's gone back, and James Lowes came up with it. Leeds bring it blindside again. Gary Rose, solid tackling there, right round the chest. Chris Joint brings the man down. Vasiliakopoulos, the try scorer for Leeds, penetrates the Saints half, the last tackle of this sequence of 6. Lowes will have to kick. All the Leeds players on that far side are offside, but the ball just bouncing over Tony Sullivan's head. Nothing much he could do about that. Puts the Saints back 10 metres from their own line. They are going to get head and ball. The score at 6 points apiece. 17 minutes of the first half to play. Saints with a home tie on Sunday against Oldham, and then 3 times on the telly, with Halifax on Sky, the week after Hull away on Sky, and then the Regal Trophy tie with Warrington on the Saturday. John Neal brings it blindside, takes some pulling down, doesn't take a backward step, does Neal. Now with Andy Dannett, well, a forward pass ruled. Once again, from below us, not a lot of response till the actual decision was given. But referee Smith there moves in quickly. Scrum down, Leeds feed. Stevens inside to Holroyd, looking for that half gap. Have to be well marshalled. Well, the ball was lost, come out, but it did go back, so it wasn't a knock-on, even though the Saints were claiming for a knock-on. Only good gang tackling by the Saints will stop this Leeds attack. They know they've got to get points on the boards. They've got to get wins under the belt. Saints can't afford to get beat either. 3 times the Saints have been beat so far this season. Holroyd chips it through. Gus O'Donnell tidies up well, brings it up the blind side. Good tackling there. Craig Innes moves in. Vivers onto Mike Riley. Bitterly cold evening here at Leeds, and as I said on Sunday at Oldham, another cold hole, isn't it? One of the coldest grounds. Well, they're all cold when it's cold, but Oldham right on the border there, Lancashire-Yorkshire border, and very bitter. Cooper and Hunt. Well, Hunt does well, catches it, goes back the opposite way, gives the dummy, tries to straighten up. Rose brings him down. Last tackle of this sequence. Leeds all offside on the referee's left, and he looked, and Graham Holroyd was miles offside, but he let play go on. Rules the turnover on the 6th tackle. Stevens takes it quick. Well, George Mann there, instinctive reaction, goes out. There's nothing wrong with Stevens, it didn't catch him. Well, it off his shoulder, chest, and went up to the head area, but George Mann going to be spoken to. He was spoken to a little bit earlier, so obviously referee Smith will have him down in his notebook. He wants the captain, he's going to speak to George Mann in front of the captain. He must be saying, this is going to be your final warning, George, I'm afraid. Keep the tackles down. But as I say, with these little halfbacks, when they're bobbing and darting, and just an instinctive reaction. Well, no doubt that'll please the popular side faithful just below us. But Leeds have been awarded the penalty. And another chance for them to build up an attack in this set of 6. Lowes, short pass on to Harmon. George Mann in at the tackle there, along with John Neal. Saints defence going to be tested for this set of 6. 6 points apiece to score. Mercer coming through. New Zealand forward Mercer, well, used to be a centre, now a forward, now it's with Richie Ayres. George Mann again in at the tackle. James Lowes attacked in half-back. He moves it inside to Stevens. Stevens tried to give the dummy. Saw the Saints had moved up quickly. Lowes at dummy half. Well, Saints penalised there, reaping out is the indication given. Chris Joint the man going to be penalised, or the man that has been penalised, and a chance for Irving. He'll pop this one over, I feel. Not the ideal place, obviously, to win the wrath, if that's the correct term, of the referee, but Irving shouldn't have any problem. 28 minutes on the watch, he's right in front of the sticks. Chris Joint with an indiscretion. Irving converts it. Leeds are back in the lead at 8 points to 6. So Tommy Martin will restart us from the centre spot. Probably another low kick towards this top right-hand corner. Looking for a Leeds mistake, but it sits up nice there for Alan Tate. Mercer comes in, running hard and strong as Mercer this evening. Leeds again, regroup. Gary Rose, I think that is, driving through. Alan Hunt, John Neal in at the action. Lowe's doing a bit of mauling, and well, Saints, can they pick the ball up? Advantage will be played. Gus O'Donnell moves it over to the left, creates the gap. Sullivan did well, took it well. Now he's going to have to come back in field. Saints running up on Leeds and forcing the mistake. Well, that was a high tackle, wasn't it, from Mercer on John Neal. The man's not injured, but the tackle was high. And referee Smith is going to speak to Gary Mercer, just as he spoke to George Mann earlier. But a chance now, a penalty for the Saints, and with Tommy Martin have a go for goal, he will. Saints substitute Ian Pickervance just coming on as the Sandman. .30 metres out, just to the left of the sticks. 8 points to 6. Leeds are in the lead with a 28th minute Irving penalty goal. And now a chance for Tommy Martin to put the game back in the balance at 8 points apiece. Strikes it well. Looks good. Yes, it's there between the sticks. So 31 minutes. Martin with his second goal of the evening. So 2 penalty goals from Irving, a try from Vasilakopoulos against a try from Andy Dannett, converted by Martin, and now a Martin penalty goal. The score's all tied, 8 points apiece. Mike Riley again comes in well off the wing. Leeds moving up exceptionally quickly as Chris Joint tries to penetrate the defence. John Neal again gets the ball away to Chris Joint. In turn he passes it on to Gus O'Donnell. O'Donnell creates the gap. It's now with Mike Riley. He can't round his man. Good tackling there. Excellent tackling there by Craig Innes and Simon Irving. Super tackling. Gus O'Donnell came across on the blind side. Looked as though he put Riley in with a bit of space, but it wasn't to be. Excellent tackling. Scrum down. Stevens feeds. Now Holroyd has possession. Good tackling there. Phil Vevers moved across quickly. Brought Holroyd down. Leeds persist with that blindside ploy, and it's Mercer. Sullivan in with the tackling on the far side. Along with Alan Hunt there. Now it's with Stevens. Lively purring, this Stevens and Holroyd, and they'll have to be met and they'll have to be tackled. Richie Ayres, well taken down. Solid stuff. Referee Smith urging the Saints to line up onside. It's a pity he couldn't have a look at the Blues, couldn't he, when they're defending. Now it's Holroyd. Tate, I beg your pardon. Last one of the sequence. Holroyd out to the right. It looks as though it's going to go to him for the tester. And it's over to that far wing for Jim Fallon, but it's too deep. In on the full, so the ball back, and it'll be the turnover, with that being on the 6th tackle. Too deep there, but I'm sure Fallon was offside. He didn't get a chance to get over to that ball. Now George Mann straightens it up. Gary Rose done a lot of tackling in the lead side along with Neil Harmon. Now it's with Dannett. Vasilakopoulos in at the tackle. Dwyer on the blind side. But good tight defending both sides this evening. John Neal penetrates the Leeds half. Leeds urge to get back onside. Loop movement here, O'Donnell. Now it's inside to Joint. Breaks out to one, back to Martin. Now to Bernard Dwyer. Change of direction. Dwyer again gets the ball away, but Andy Dannett knocks it forward. Obviously Saints trying to vary the play, but one pass too many. It went to ground. Andy Dannett couldn't take it cleanly. And a scrum down. Leeds feed right on the halfway line. Good drive there from this loose forward. Only a youngster, just graduated through from the A-team. And I suppose when Ellery Hanley gets fit, he'll be shuttled back into the A-team. But a good drive from this lad, Vasilakopoulos, from the base of the scrum. Stevens went one way, he went the other. Well, that's raking at the play of the ball there, a type of indication. I don't know what sort of... well, pick the bones out of that anyway. It's like doing the pools in it, any 8 from 10 for get a decision. But it's a penalty to Leeds, and Irvine will be asked to pop the goal over. That's a new one there. It looks so he was trying to indicate the man maybe was tackled, elbows on the ground, and then somebody raking at the ball. But it's Irvine now, 5 minutes to the interval. Looking to put Leeds into the lead yet again. Seesaw game this evening. Yes, trusty boot of Irving, 35 minutes gone. (10-8) the score. 5 minutes to the interval, stop-start game. Quite a healthy crowd assembled here at Headingley this evening. A bitterly cold evening, and Leeds with, well, they must have spent about, what, 3 million on the side. That's not doing too clever. But at least they have a healthy support. And that's only good, isn't it? Because I do believe that you should support a side through thick and thin. And here at Headingley they've had more thin than thick, haven't they? Richie Ears. Lows at dummy half, bringing in Neil Harmon. These forwards are Leeds, they're taking it up all day. Saints forwards are as well. Good drives from Andy Dannett, John Neal, Chris Joint, and good tackling there as well. Lows with a kick for the far corner. David Lyon gathers it, but Leeds move up quickly. Only 2 Saints there and about 5 or 6 Leeds. As the Saints get back onside, move back quickly. Tony Sullivan coming in off the wing. No way through for him. Mercer and Lowe's bring him down. Now it's Bernard Dwyer. George Mann steps up quickly. Leeds get back onside as John Neal brings the ball up. Turns it back inside. Gus O'Donnell, long cut-out ball to Chris Joint. He's well tackled. Now the referee, well, he looks over to the left, then to the right. All offside on the referee's right. He chooses to ignore it yet again. Last tackle of the sequence as Gus O'Donnell pops it up. Yes, a good kick by O'Donnell. He was pestered a bit there at the kick. Obviously, He was hustled. That's the idea, isn't it? Got to hustle the man with the ball, especially on the sixth tackle. He got the kick away to the open side stand here, and it found touch just inside, or just before the 20-metre area. Stevens will feed. He gets scrum possession. Irving comes in field. Iro tries to straighten up. Iro bursts through. He's well taken centre field. Tate up with him as well, but a good run there from Kevin Iro. Captain's part this evening. Holroyd, short ball to Innes. Well, Innes there, he had three men on his left. He chose to take the tackle, but Leeds move upfield. Good yardage, 30-40 metres. Stevens sees the gap, drives through. Wrong foots the Saints there now, unloads it to Lowes. Well taken down there. Well, a knock-on indicated. Lowes must have knocked it forward, out of our eyesight there. But good driving through there by Gareth Stevens. Wrong-footed a couple of Saints players. Was taken down, what can we say, 10 metres short. Passed it on to, unloaded it onto James Lowes. And as he went down, the ball was knocked forward. About 30 seconds of normal time before the interval. Gus O'Donnell comes away with it. Alan Tate. Well, the ball's loose. The referee looking for some indication, but Leeds have possession. Holroyd now. Gus O'Donnell came away with it, and Saints lose it on the first tackle. The chance now for Leeds to possibly score before the interval. The Saints defence will have to be tested. Well, loose play there, but Iro comes up with it. The man will have to be met, but the ball released there. Vasilakopoulos drives it up. He's brought down centre field. Lowes brings it left. Stevens brings on Richie Ears. Well, Ears there looks though he's going to release it to Craig Innes. That would have been a forward. Ears walks off the mark there, and it's now with Stevens. Saints tested over on the far side. Well, Fallon couldn't take it. Leeds with a three-man overlap on the far side, even though I think the final pass may have been a hint forward. He didn't take it. He didn't take it, but Saints were stretched there. And Fallon, perhaps they should issue him with a bucket at half-time. Well, Gus O'Donnell again. On to Alan Hunt. It'll have to be a length of the field job before the interval. A minute of stoppage time played. Solid tackling by Leeds. Good running by the Saints. Now with David Lyon. Good yardage gained by the Saints. 10, 15, 20 metres upfield. Quick hands now. George Mann looking for the gap. Mann into the clear. Alan Hunt comes on his inside. George Mann still driving it up. Excellent drive. 40 metres upfield. A chance now for the Saints to get points on the board before the interval. Alan Hunt, 10 metres from 20 metres from the Leeds line. Last tackle of the sequence. Saints trailing by 10 points to 8. They're going to spread it out, I think. Gus O'Donnell going for the drop. Well, waved wide, but 1 point obviously could be crucial. The old adage is don't come away without getting any points, but what an exciting last couple of minutes in this first half have been, with Leeds getting the ball off Saints losing it on the first tackle, nearly going over. Good tackling by the Saints, then good attacking. They drove it up to the far end. Gus O'Donnell trying a one-pointer popper just before the half-time interval, but it's tightly contested here. 10 points to 8 at half-time in Leeds' favour. Join us shortly for a pulsating second half. Now, for the second half of this pulsating Stones Bitter League clash. Leeds versus the Saints. As I said before, a rearrange from the 31st of October. Leeds called the game off due to them having players in the test side. But it's all tight here at half-time. 10 points to 8 the score. As far as I'm aware, we haven't got any substitutions. Just having a quick squint round the field. So the same 26 restart with Leeds kicking off, and in 40 minutes, obviously, as far as I'm concerned, for the Saints to come up with a win. But a knock-on indicated, well, on the intervention of this touch judge just below us. Saints had possession, it went up there, a knock-on indicated. First scrum of the second half, Leeds to feed. Looked quite deadly, coming through on the opposite diagonal there as Fallon tries to take it, but Tate, just a little altercation there as Tate moving in along with Gus O'Donnell, but nothing too forward. The referee allows play to go on, the touch judge doesn't even come on. Leeds move it cross field, now spread it out to Richie Ayres. He's well taken down by Shane Cooper midfield. Saints urged to get back onside by referee Smith. Laws attacked in half, he moves it left, well he goes left and George Mann clatters him to the ground there. Still inside the Saints 20-metre area. Well, drop goal attempt is it from Tate? No, well, that was a hint of obstruction, but Cooper read it well. Rounded his man, closed him down. It's the last tackle of the sequence. Holroyd looking for it. Holroyd peppers it for the corner. It was on the last tackle. Well, it's going to be a scrum, 10 metres from the Saints line, 10 metres infield. Leeds trying to put the pressure on the Saints, keeping them up there, pegging them in their own 20-metre area. Obviously that's the idea. O'Donnell feeds. Saints come away with it. Respect for the ball is going to be the key issue in this second 40 minutes. John Neal unloads it now. Phil Vevers on the opposite diagonal. Turns in the tackle, but Lowe's wraps him up round the top. David Lyon puts the ball upfield. Tried to play Leeds at their own game, and why not? It's has it found touch? It certainly has. Obviously, my view restricted with there being 3 cameras up here, and you've got to keep out of the view. But it's found touch in the Leeds 20-metre area, so excellent work by the Saints. Let the ball do the work, saves a lot of work and a lot of running for the forwards and the backs. Well, Gus O'Donnell comes up with it, but referee Russell Smith not happy with it. That would have been one against the head, but Gary Stevens come up with it cleanly there, and the Saints come in and move in and do the tackling, joint leading the charge. Well, loose play, well it's knocked back, but surely it came forward first, yes. That is the indication by referee Smith. So it's a chance now for the Saints to put pressure on Leeds, just as Leeds put pressure on the Saints at the opposite end. The Saints choir amassed at the far end of the ground there. Get behind the side. George Mann looking for the gap. He sees it, he drives through, he still stood in the tackle. Now finally brought down, 8 metres short. Bernard Dwyer scampers away from dummy half onto Dannett, looking for a brace. He scored one in the first half. Well, quick pressure by Leeds, forcing the Saints back. Lowe's leading the charge, but a knock-on indicated. The referee consulting with the touch judge on the far side, and a knock-on given. Scrum down, Leeds feed. Solid tackling there by Leeds, forcing the Saints with the error. Simon Irving. Well, a knock on there. And Alan Tate, I think it is, just trying to show the referee and the touch judge that the ball had gone back. Well, it wasn't that a couple of minutes ago, was it, when the Saints were done for that? I suppose that's all right. They clapped the touch judge then. Shane Cooper brings it blindside, now turns back the opposite way, gives it to George Mann. Even codded the Leeds public there, they cried for a knock-on. Joint gets the ball out to Riley. He's in at the corner. Good try there by Mike Riley. 5 minutes into the second half. Riley puts the Saints in the lead again. Good work by the Saints from the scrum. A knock on by Leeds. A scrum down. Saints capitalised on it. Cooper brought it left. Then he turned it back right. The ball eventually went to Chris Joint. He made a gap for Riley. Fed it out to him. And he went in just on the top right-hand corner. Puts the Saints back in the lead at 12 points to 10. Mike Riley's third try of the season. And Tommy Martin, a difficult one, right in the corner, right on the touchline, as you can see. Looks good, that floated in. Oh, that's a superb effort by Martin. A superb touchline conversion and a valuable 2 points as Martin gets his third goal of the evening, and it gives Saints a 4-point cushion at 14 points to 10 and no more than they deserve. It brings the Saints travelling public to the feet, and also in fine voice. Tony Sullivan stops it with his foot, comes crossfield, saw the gap, straightened up, but the cover defence came in quickly. Gary Mercer along with the loose forward Vasilakopoulos, and that will give the Saints a bit of a boost there at 14 points to 10. John Neal taking the ball at full pace. Good tackling by Leeds. They move up quickly. The ball's with Lyon, and he peppers it down again. And it was that good kick by Lyon after Saints had been put under pressure by Leeds only about 5 minutes ago. Lyon popped the ball up in the Leeds 20-metre area. A couple of mistakes from both sides, and then Saints came up with the points. Seven minutes of the half gone. Saints in the lead, 14 points to 10. Stevens onto Mercer. He unloads it there, but can Sullivan capitalise on it? It's chipped on, but Iro gets back and gathers it. A loose ball there by Leeds. And they was nearly made to pay for it, and now the Saints will come up in numbers again. Hunt and Mann. Sullivan there as well. Blindside ploy, Iro trying to come away with it. Cooper wraps him up. Oh, superb tackle. Hunt and Cooper combined. They clatter the man to the ground, and Hunt's in again. Super tackling by Hunt. Dannett in. Hunt there, 3 in a row and a bonus point. Oh, not lining up at the play of the ball is the referee's decision. Penalised the Saints for it. A good tackling stint by the Saints there. Alan Hunt playing like a man possessed, putting the opposition off, or trying to put the opposition off. But Saints penalised, not lining up correctly at the play of the ball, and the penalty given to Leeds. Harmon, he's taken down by his counterpart, John Neal. Bernard Dwyer in there as well. Lowe's attacked in half-back. Now with Rose. Neither side used any substitutions at present. Stevens working the ball over to the left. Richie Ayres tries to spread it out, but the ball's loose. Saints have possession. Chris Joint, I think that is, that's gone down. No, beg your pardon, Andy Dannett it was. Now it's with Chris Joint. Gets through some graft, does Chris Joint there. Excellent defence bursting runs. Good work there by John Neal. Now Dannett has it out to Gus O'Donnell. Looks for the gap, tries to create the opening. He gets it away to Cooper. Cooper loses his foot in. It's now with Joint. Saints trying to, well, obviously keep the ball alive. George Mann straightens it up. Block-busting run late in the first half nearly proved, gave points to the Saints with a good run by Mann. There he is again, Neal driving in onto Dwyer. Sides his way up to the 20-metre line, does Bernard Dwyer. Leeds urge to get back onside, and there's at least 4 offside there. But the referee allows play to go on. Cooper chips it through for Sullivan. The ball's still loose. Sullivan chips it forward. George Mann, does he score? Oh, it's knocked dead by Leeds. Leeds dirty. They survived the Saints' onslaught. Good work there by Cooper. Chipped it through for Sullivan. Sullivan couldn't gather it, couldn't get back to it, but he got his foot to it, hacked it forward. George Mann followed up, but it was a Leeds player that got his hand to it, knocked it dead. Leeds forced to drop out, and now Saints will build up with another set of 6. Lyon tried to bisect Innes and Irving there. Mike Riley straightens it up. Some good ball handling by the Saints, good skills. Leeds forced to defend, and now it's Dannett powering his way upfield. Richard Ayres in at the tackle. James Lowe's in as well. O'Donnell, Cooper along the line. Joint juggles with it well, loses control. Now it's with Irving. Oh, good tackling there. Excellent defence. Phil Vevers read it quickly, moved in. And that's how the sides have got to be. Just as good in defence as attack. But a knock-on indicated by the touch judge on the far side. Well, a knock-on, and now he's changed his mind. It's reaping out is the indication. Well, they can't even get it right there, can they? He's given the indication that it's a knock-on, then he changes his mind and says it was reaped out. Hope he gets his bonus on the way out. Leeds fine touch on the main stand side. 20 metres from the Saints line. Leeds in possession. Irving coming in field. Leeds trailing 14 points to 10. 12 minutes of the second half gone. Lowe's to Stevens, changes the direction. Now brings in Holroyd. Well, loose ball there. Bounced off Lowe's. Now it goes with Alan Hunt. If Hunt can get in the clear, he's got some pace. Hunt looking for the gap. A long ball out there to Vevers. Vevers with Riley on his outside. He gives it to Riley. He has to come inside. Saints keep the ball moving. Riley's on his way. 30, 40 metre burst upfield with Saints on the attack. Spreading it out again. Good rugby there. O'Donnell, Dannett, out to George Mann. Sullivan on his outside. Sullivan, can he go for the corner? Oh, Sullivan's in. What a superb try. 70-odd metre movement, into passing movement. Finished off by Sullivan in the corner. And that'll put the kibosh on Leeds' hopes of getting the points tonight, I feel. 12 minutes of the second half gone. Sullivan in for his, what is it now? His 6th in 3 games. Extends the Saints' lead to 18 points to 10. And Sullivan's 8th try of the season there. Superb effort. Good ball handling skills, in fact excellent ball handling skills. George Mann running out wide, gave the final pass to Sullivan in acres of space. And this man, George Mann, tremendous for the Saints this season. Another difficult attempt from Tommy Martin, perhaps on the wrong side for a left-footed kicker. Waved away by the touch judges, but an 8-point cushion now the Saints have, and just 13 minutes gone of the second half. The Saints public come alive yet again, and Saints warming up both the substitutes. The way the lads are playing, I don't think they'll be introduced just at present, but obviously you've got to keep the players warmed up and ready for action at any time should anybody get injured. But good work there, started in the Saints' zone 20 metre earlier. Alan Hunt starting it off, or one of the players starting it off, finally finished off in this bottom left-hand corner by Tony Sullivan. Saints' 3rd try, 3 goals from Martin, 18 points against Leeds 10. Tate now takes the ball on his own 20 metre area. Gus O'Donnell leads the charge along with Andy Dannett. Stevens on to Irving from the left wing, moving over onto the right flank here. Martin takes him down, Blindside ploy, Harmon running blind. Well clamped, well I'm saying well clamped, he looked as though he was clamped, but he got the ball away to Iro. Good tackling, Saints move in, Bernard Dwyer again, Stevens along the line, Mercer, but they've no wingman because he's over here. And loose play, Leeds, it bounces off his chest. I think it's, well, I don't know who it is actually, but it bounces into the Saints' hands and Riley comes away with it. Craig Innes, I think it was, that lost possession. John Neal turns in the tackle again, always eager to release the ball. And we keep hearing Wigan saying now they have their injury problems and what have you. I mean, Saints, they've got 6 first-teamers out from this evening's clash. They say with Rapate, Loughlin, Harrison, Ward, Nicol and Griffiths. Well, Leeds penalised for offside and ironic cheers from behind the sticks. And rightly so, not before time either. This, I don't know who was penalised that time, whether it was Laws, I think, for moving up. But Holroyd had been as well lining up in a red and white jersey, I think, this evening. But 18 points to 10, and Tommy Martin going to be asked to pop the extras over. Pop the extra from this penalty award for an offside decision from referee Smith. Four times we played Leeds last season in the league. We won both encounters. 27 points to 14 here at Headingley. A thrashing of Leeds at Knowsley Road, 42 points to 8. We also played them in the first round of the Regal, a tightly contested game at Knowsley Road, where Saints came through by 15 points to 14. And in the Premiership semi-final, also at Knowsley Road, Saints come through there and won by 15 points to 2. So 4 wins over the Liners last season. Tommy Martin looking to slot that one there, and he does so. Another 2 points in the Leeds coffin. Or another 2 points, 2 nails in the Leeds coffin. Tommy Martin with his 4th of the evening. Now it's 20 points to 10. Holroyd. Sullivan stops it with his knees. Comes crossfield again. Saints move up quickly. Bernard Dwyer quickly steps up at the acting half-back position. Now it's with Alan Hunt. He runs crossfield, creates the gap. Beavers, Cooper again, now on to Riley. Let's see if he has to come inside, does Riley. Well taken there. Obviously chose to come inside as get crushed into the touch on the far side. Beavers, long cut-out pass. Taken by Lyon onto George Mann. Mann bursts through. He gives the dummy again and Saints are lining up now. They must score again. Martin. On to Beavers. The ball's still loose. Well, Saints should have been in there. It looked all done and dusted, didn't it? As long as they moved down. But temper's getting a little frayed. Russell Smith gives the scrum. And a substitute looks to be brought on. It's Gary Rose that's going off. And it's Ian Scott that's going to be introduced. So first substitution of the game. Saints move up too quickly for referee Smith's liking after Leeds had won the ball. And Holroyd with the penalty. Finds touch 10 metres short of the halfway line. 20 points to 10 the score in Saints' favour. Substitute Scott quickly on and quickly in at the action. Sign from Workington, the end of last season. Now with Harmon. Harmon tries to spread it, Shane Cooper read it. George Mann came in at the tackle and Saints in possession again. Bernard Dwyer. Now Leeds' heads seem to be dropping halfway through the second half. Saints have opened a 10-point gap. after a seesaw first half, which saw Leeds go in leading by 10 points to 8. Now it's Chris Joint, runs out wide, runs well. Both the second rows run out well. Dwyer onto Sullivan. Jinks inside his man, but Harmon brings him down. Dwyer now chips it for the corner. Well taken there by Jim Fallon. He runs crossfield, and Tommy Martin, oh, super tackle, slows him down, read it well, bangs into the floor. Vasilakopoulos, the opening try scorer for Leeds, and the opening try scorer of the game, moves it crossfield. Been very quiet in the back end of the first half and the opening period of the second half. Stevens onto hers. Good gang tackling by the Saints, 2 and 3 men in, smothering the ball, making sure Leeds can't spread it. Well, that's the idea anyway, in theory. How it works in practice, well, it doesn't always work that way, does it? Leeds pepper the ball upfield. David Lyon puts it back down, and why not? Let's play Leeds in their own 20-metre area. Paid dividends last time, and why shouldn't it pay dividends again? Alan Tate. Well crushed there. Cooper leading his men well, along with Alan Hunt. Now Iro. Iro for Leeds. Few seasons at Wigan, made his name at Wigan. The Beast, they call him. And there's Neil Harmon. Scott was coming through on the run, but Harmon couldn't release it. Stevens. Man stopped him, and Dwyer finished him off. Holroyd. Well, looking for runners. There's Stevens. Moves it crossfield, still running is Stevens. Tate's with him. Good running by Leeds. They make good yardage. It's the last tackle of the sequence. They're going to put Saints under pressure. I feel a high ball's going to be lofted here. Holroyd there. Well, he's running it. He's looking for the gap. Oh, good run and a good try by Holroyd. Excellent try there. On the sixth tackle, the Saints probably the same as me. We're looking for the high kick. But Holroyd, obviously, as they say in the trade, he hadn't read the script. Saints' defence was caught cold, and Holroyd zipped in there. Excellent try. Good work from this youngster. 20 points to 14 with the Irving conversion to come. And puts it back in the melting pot. As far as Saints are concerned, we could do with Irving missing this goal, but the way he's been kicking all evening, there doesn't look much chance of that. Do a quick incantation just before he gets cracking. So Irving there, just outside the 20-metre line. Well, yes, that's done it. Put the curse on him. Across the face of the post, 14 points to Leeds, 20 to the Saints. 6 points separating the sides, 17 minutes of the game remaining. But a try out of nothing there for Holroyd. Didn't look anything on as he took it on the sixth tackle, just outside the 20-metre area. As I said, we was looking for the tester, the up and under. It wasn't forthcoming. Holroyd saw the gap, Saints laid off him, and he scooted in for a try. Mercer. Now it's Irving. As I said, these wingmen, they come in field. Lowes attacked in half. Harmon. Cooper goes in there, brings him down. Well, Cooper straight away called him. Obviously Harmon. They needed immediate treatment there. He came in, but good tackling. George Mann closed him down. Cooper wrapped him up, banged him to the ground. Well, Shane Cooper seems to think the stretcher is needed, as he immediately called. And Harmon there, it looks a left leg injury. Yes, and the stretcher called for by the physio. But just strong running by Neil Harmon. He powered his way through there, just as he has all through this evening's game. But the tackle there by Shane Cooper, and there was nothing in it. brought down. Cooper called the referee's attention straight away. The first aid crew came on, and unfortunately Harmon will have to be stretchered off. John Scales looks as though he'll have to come on. No. Is it John Scales? I think it is on the far side. For Neil Harmon, unfortunately, a sympathetic round of applause as Neil Harmon stretched off. Shane Cooper called straight away. Play will be restarted. Ian Scott, it looks as though he's going to play the ball. Yes, the referee waves time on. Richard Hers, he's well taken down. Tommy Martin quickly in there, along with Chris Joint. John Scales on the wing for Leeds against Salford last Saturday. Only a youngster. Well, Gus O'Donnell charges the kick down, but it's all on because it touched Gus O'Donnell. He completes the tackle there, and Leeds with another set of 6. Well, that certainly looked a hint forward onto Craig Innes. Referee Smith has pulled the Saints up twice for borderline decisions like that. Gary Mercer brought down by Alan Hunt and Shane Cooper right in front of us. Saints still with 2 fresh men to bring on if need be. 14 minutes to the final hooter, 6 points separating the teams at 20 points to 14. Now with Kevin Iro. Leeds trying to play it quickly, it's charged down by George Mann. Leeds in possession. Looks like Scales. Well taken there, Alan Hunt and Shane Cooper. Solid tackling by the Saints. John Neal this time. Lows at dummy half. On to Stevens. Leeds move it left. Richard Hers. Good tackling, solid tackling. O'Donnell and also Chris Joint. Good running there, solid running by Craig Innes. Only drifted in and out of this game periodically. Last one of the sequence. Holroyd puts it downfield. David Lyon. He gathers it cleanly. Makes 5 metres. Well, penalty there. Gary Mercer holding on to David Lyon's leg, not allowing him to play it, as clearly indicated this time by the referee. We do know what that one is anyway. And David Lyon with the penalty kick, just finding touch to the right of our commentary position. Leeds urged to get back onside as they just cabbage a yard or so as Dannett moves in. John Neal played hard. John Neal drives it up. You've always got to have somebody like Neal in your pack, same as Harmon, who unfortunately he's just gone off injured. As George Mann blockbusting his way through. Good drive by the Saints, making yardage. Alan Hunt now looks for that half gap. Penetrates the Leeds 20-metre area. Saints need another try and a goal, certainly, to give them that breathing space. Gus O'Donnell, well, it's charged down. Saints will have another set of 6. Charged down as Gus O'Donnell went for the 1-pointer to try and give, obviously, as I said, that little bit of breathing space. But Bernard Dwyer tries to scamper away. Gary Mercer brings him down. Cooper onto Dannett. Good run, coming through at pace. Leeds have to line up on their own line. Cooper now, Joint. Well, it's a long ball. Can it be tidied up by Riley? It's going to be a forward pass. The idea was right, the cut-out pass, but unfortunately it couldn't be taken cleanly. Riley did tidy it up, but the ball had gone forward. Scrum down, Leeds feed. Another containing job by the Saints to hold Leeds in the 20-metre area. Well, George Mann there. Well, the man coming away with the jersey wrapped round the ball as George Mann had hold of it. Well, Lowe's there. He's going to get penalised if he's not careful. Now there's one, isn't there, for what happened next, didn't he? Find the ball. He can't get the ball out of the jersey. Well, he does now. Yeah, that's another one for question of sport, isn't it? Mercer bringing the ball away. Gets it away to Fallon. Sullivan wraps him up. Yes, the man's forced into touch. Scrum down, Saints feed. Nothing wrong there. The referee and the touch judge consulting. Good tackling there on Fallon by Sullivan. The ball and the man wasn't stopped. Extra Saints players came in. Leeds didn't like it. They're going to have to lump it. It's Saints feed. Martin on to Hunt. 10 minutes of this exciting game remaining. 6 points separating the sides. Leeds 14, Saints 20. Saints with 2 substitutes to come on if needed. As Dannett drives it up again. Good driving by the pack, by the Saints pack. O'Donnell, Chris Joint. 20 metres short, a similar position to the last line of attack. Last tackle of the sequence. Warning bells in the Leeds side, but well, it's onside that, even though we had an offside call to our right, it touched a Leeds player, and Saints with another set of 6, and Bernard Dwyer scampering towards the line. Brought down inches short with 5 tackles remaining. Shane Cooper organising his troops. Leeds forced to defend now with Joint. The ball knocked back by Leeds. And a little bit of hanky-panky there. And I think Saints could be penalised here. Chris Joint, is he guilty of... No, Saints are going to be penalised. No, it's going to be a scrum down. Well, I thought Saints may have been penalised there. I thought Chris Joint just held Stevens back. But it's a scrum with the Saints feed, and O'Donnell from the base of the scrum drives it centre field, right in front of the sticks again. Similar position. Cooper onto Martin, goes for the drop goal. Well, have Saints lost possession? Obviously Saints looking to get the 1 pointer even on the first tackle of the set of 6 to try and give the breathing space. It was charged down yet again by Leeds. It came back. David Lyon, I think it was, that came up with the ball, and unfortunately he knocked it forward. So a lot of action, and I'm very pleased to say it's all in the Leeds 20-metre area. Saints in the lead by 20 points to 14, 8 minutes, plus that little bit of stoppage time we had when the injury to Neil Harmon forced him to leave the field. As Mercer brings the ball away. Tight defensive display by the Saints. He's going to be the order of the day, but Leeds are running hard and strong. Earls making good yardage. Well, that's a forward pass there onto substitute Scott. Last one of the sequence. Holroyd brought into the action again. Sullivan is going to take it. Excellent tackling by Leeds. And now Leeds looking to do a containing job on the Saints. Round the 20-metre area. Gus O'Donnell wrestled to the ground by Lowe's. Just took a little bit of a knock there. Probably just winded as the referee moves in. Saints physio Jeanette Smith. Well, Lowe's goes in and that man should be moved away. He's too handy, that hooker, at going in and forcing the opposition off when it's nothing to do with him whatsoever. But referee Mr. Smith allows things to go on, and Lowe's in there again. Well, there you are. He's going to be penalised this time. Lowe's and Earls. I think it's Lowe's that's going to be spoken to for the high tackle. A respite for the Saints. with time running out for Leeds. 6 minutes remaining on the clock. An excellent kick by David Lyon. Finds touch 10 metres inside the Leeds half. Quick restart. John Neal from Bernard Dwyer. Saints looking to make good yardage and obviously build up a scoring position from this set of 6. Still making good headway, and the Saints substitution there stripping off in the dugout as George Mann breaks through again, sidesteps past and drives up, and he's still going. He's George Mann. The Leeds man are pushing him towards the line. He's held up just a yard short. Quick play the ball wanted by the Saints. Cooper, is it? Tries to get through, do a pirouette and got through, but he couldn't manage it. No, it was Bernard Dwyer. Now it's with Tommy Martin. Long cut-out ball taken by Vivers. Overlap for the Saints. Riley, can he squeeze in? He's still on his feet, is Riley. He's forced into touch. Oh, excellent cover defence by Leeds. But oh so nearly the Saints squeeze in at the corner. So Tommy Martin going to be replaced, and I think it's young Steve Prescott that's coming on with 4 minutes to go. So I think we'll see Phil Vivers up to the stand-off position. Steve Prescott slotting in. Oh no, beg your pardon, it's Tony Sullivan. Tony Sullivan just... I thought it was number 6 that was being held up. So a straight swap there, Steve Prescott on the wing. And Leeds looking to make a substitution as well. But no, everything's okay. Leeds have possession from the scrum. Gary Rose looking to come back on the field of play. For Gary Mercer, but obviously he's all right now. Solid tackling by the Saints. 4 minutes remaining, plus stoppage time. Saints with a 6-point cushion at 20 points to 14. Solid tackling there. Tommy Martin in at the tackle along with Alan Hunt. Andy Dannett as well. Scrum half Stevens looking to create the gap. Last tackle of this set of 6. Young Steve Prescott here. Looks as though he's going to get his first touch. And if this lad can produce the goods, he scored some superb tries in the A-team. He comes from a good pedigree. His dad Eric that graced the hallowed turf at Nosey Road and also the Willows at Salford after his spell with the Saints. He's been putting up some excellent displays, as I say, in the A-team. John Neal gets the ball away to Bernard Dwyer, scampers through. Andy Dannett coming through on his left, but the ball couldn't be released. Vivers takes up the acting half-back position, moves over to the right. Good yardage by Vivers. 2 minutes plus stoppage time, 6 points the gap. Chris Joint looking for support, gets it there from Lyon. Last one of the sequence. George Mann plays it inside, Gus O'Donnell goes for the drop. It looks good from here. Well, I think that's definitely sealed the points for the Saints this evening. That's what the Saints have been after for a considerable length of time. And O'Donnell with a longish range drop goal gives the Saints the 7-point cushion. And I think that puts Leeds to their 7th successive defeat. Young Prescott again. Lowe's brings him down, and he's certainly done a lot of mauling as Lowe's this evening. But I think that certainly relieves the pressure as far as the Saints spectators are concerned. Certainly relieves the pressure from with that 7-point cushion. Leeds in 12th, in 7th, no, I beg your pardon, in 12th position in the league with 7 points from 3 wins and 1 draw. Saints are in 6th position with 6 wins 3 defeats. As I said earlier, defeat can't be tolerated, but Prescott scampers away, but just dragged into touch by Iro. And he's got a fair turn of pace as Prescott, if he could get clear, but the old campaigner there, Kevin Iro, clattered him into touch. Stevens to feed the scrum. Leeds have ball possession. Irving coming infield, Iro looping round him, but Irving creates the gap, but Alan Hunt homed in on him, banged him to the ground. Irving again, cabbages a yard, walks off the spot as Tate comes crossfield. Well, he gets through there, does Tate, finally brought down by Gus O'Donnell. Lowe's brings it on to substitute forward Scott. 40 minutes gone on the watch, playing in stoppage time for that injury to Harmon. As Stevens on to Holroyd. He'll have to be watched, especially after that try that the Saints let in the 22nd minute of the second half. Would have been all plain sailing apart from that. Mercer chips it through. Well taken by Gus O'Donnell. Covered a lot of ground this evening as O'Donnell, and Mercer doing a lot of mauling. The referee moves in. Saints have possession. I think they'll just hold it for the remainder of these 6 tackles and then pound it upfield. Good yardage. Don't make any mistakes. Dwyer brings John Neal in. He's worked tirelessly this evening as John Neal. An excellent team performance by the Saints against an out-of-form Leeds side as George Mann again creates the gap, gives it to Prescott. He couldn't take it, but referee Smith spots the forward pass there. Eagle-eyed referee Smith, as George Mann broke through this Leeds defence again, tried to get Steve Prescott going. A lad that wants to impress Prescott, obviously in his short excursions in the first team. 3 minutes in his first excursion, and he had about 5 or 6 minutes in this second one. Iro on to Irving. Saints defence is going to be tested. Tate comes through. 2 minutes of stoppage time we've had, just waiting for the final hooter to sound. 21 points to 14 is the score at present. Leeds have possession. The midway between the Saints 20-metre line and the halfway line. They've never give up, even though it's a certainty that they're going to come out of this game with nothing. Holroyd, pinpoint pass to us, and yet another pass which certainly looked to him forward, and the referee allows to go on. 2 passes there. Back to Lowe's. Well, it went back that time, that's right, as Stevens comes away with it. Looks for the gap, gets it away to Mercer. Mercer is brought down short, Tate comes in. Well, an excellent try, it must be said. Excellent try by Leeds. Tate finishing it off in the 3rd minute of injury time. And contrary to all rumours, there are some Leeds spectators still amassed underneath this stand. They've just come to life, they've not had a lot to shout about in the second half. And it looks as though that Gus O'Donnell drop goal is going to be the decider. Irving here, a similar position to the one that he missed from the Holroyd try. And I just hope he has as much success with this one as he did with that. But it's 21 points to 18. And that one's waved away again. Well, just waiting for the final hooter to sound, and there it is. And you can see the relief in the Saints ranks, obviously. An out-of-form Leeds side. They wanted to get back in winning ways this evening, but it wasn't to be. 10 points to 8 was the score at half-time in favour of Leeds. Then in the second half, Riley got a try in the 5th minute. Goal superbly by Tommy Martin. 7 minutes later, Sullivan went in this opposite corner after a good work by George Mann, and Saints were coasting at 18 points to 10. A Martin penalty goal 5 minutes later gave Saints a 10-point cushion, but then a superb try by Holroyd on in the 22nd minute after Saints had took the dummy on the 6th tattle, put the game back in the melting pot. 6 points separating the sides. 2 minutes before the interval, O'Donnell popped a drop goal over, one that Saints have been trying for quite a while, and then at the death, Tate going in for the try. 2 vital missed conversions by the usually trusty boot of Irving, has obviously put paid to them this evening, but the final score here at Headingley Leeds is Leeds 18, St Helens 21.